everyone. Rog Golfi here with Remax the Golfi team. I wanted to start a segment of real estate and cooking. So here we are at Walter's Vineyard in Beamsville, and I have Modesta Tonan. Not only do I know her cooking, I am friends with her and her husband, and she cooks fabulous. So I asked her if she could do the show with me because I wanted to have her do pasta carbonara. Did I say that right?
Carbonara.
Pasta carbonara. I probably still won't get it, even though I'm Italian.
Carbonara is nata.
It's an easy meal. When I went to Italy, that's all I ordered all the time. I know it's sickening. You'd think after 6 pasta carbonara, I would be sick of it. I didn't. So we got some ingredients, and I know we got this meat here.
Guanciale.
Okay, guanciale. So, and I know some people use pancetta too. So is one or the other better, or is this just as good, or like what's
I
the
like
difference?
them both. Like I like pancetta and I like guanciale. I feel that this is a little bit more tender when you cook it, and you could see like the fat here is going to be the grease that we need, like the oil that we need for the pasta. So it's just a preference.
Okay.
So
we're using the guanciale, and guanciale means
guanciale. It's the jowl. Yes, it's the jowl of pork.
Of the pork.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you want me to start slicing? So what do you need me to do?
So we're gonna cut this. We're hoping that this knife is not too bad, Rob. It's not.
Okay.
So what you're gonna do, once we cut it, we're gonna cut these into cubes. Okay.
Okay.
It's usually 2 eggs per person.
Okay.
So since we're gonna be making
2 eggs per person, that's good to know.
2 yolks.
2 yolks.
So you want to cut it like that. Okay.
Okay. So how much of this do we need to
I'm
cut?
gonna tell you to make. Like, I know we don't measure. Italians usually don't measure, but we're going to do about 3/4 cup.
Okay. A little thicker.
A little thicker. That's too thin.
Okay, so we'll throw that one aside.
It'll fry too fast. So,
right.
So that's why you kind of want to keep it. Just let me see.
That's good right
Yeah. And then you strips and then into cubes. So once we get the guanciale cut, we're going to fry it up, and we're going to be using the juice of that in the carbonara. The sauce ends up really coming from the eggs, the Parmesan, and the pasta water.
Right.
That's what makes the creaminess.
Right.
That's the first step of the carbonara. We're going to fry that up first. And then I know we have some cheese to grate too, so we're going to talk a little bit about cheese. I think this is enough for 2 people.
All right.
You don't want to have it too heavy with the... Yeah, that's beautiful.
So you got to put it in there to check the measurement?
No, I think this is perfect. That's great. That's about 3/4 cups.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so if you want, you can do right now, do you want to crack these eggs, or do you want to get frying?
Yeah, let's crack the eggs. Let me get a napkin here to wipe that. So the way you do it, break an egg and separate the yolk and the...
This is only the yolk, so guanciale does not use the egg whites, right? So you know how to do it, right? Good. Now, these are farm fresh eggs. I wish I brought eggs from the supermarket just to show you the difference. Look at the yellow of that egg. Like, I literally bought those this morning. Isn't that beautiful?
Gorgeous.
Like, there's a difference with farm fresh eggs. I use them when I make meals like a carbonara or tiramisu, because that requires eggs too.
Look at that.
And
not too bad for a newcomer.
Great. Just make sure we don't get any white. Beautiful. Okay. Perfect.
So the next step,
we have to grate our cheese, but we also, since it's an easy recipe, easy ingredients, and it doesn't require a lot of cooking at the stove. But this is the part that, the grating of the cheese, black pepper.
Okay.
And
so do we mix the cheese with the egg yolk?
We do, and then you're going to start mixing that.
Okay.
We're going to fry up the guanciale, but a little piece of advice is I would get an apron, because it doesn't come out of white. Yeah,
okay, here we go.
Love it. Okay, and can you hand me that guanciale thereafter? There you go. You get that on. We're going to fry this up for about 5 minutes, okay? And then we're going to take it out of the pan. So we just want it to... See how you don't need oil for this, because there's a lot of fat. We talked about that already.
Right.
So 5 minutes. Usually I use siri at this point. It doesn't take long at all. So we're just going to get that cooked up, and we're going to use the juices.
Okay, gotcha.
For the carbon.
Nice.
And you know what, Rob? Why don't you do that? And I'm going to turn the water...
Get it on.
So that we get it to boil now.
How far do you cook this?
Oh, God, maybe a couple more minutes, because it's still just a little pink. We don't want to crisp it up. That's the wrong way to cook.
Right. So just
it gets crunchy.
So you want it soft but cooked.
Looking beautiful. We're actually going to lower it. There we go. And then I think that's just about ready, Rob.
Good.
Yeah, need to get that out of the pan.
Okay.
We need to leave the juices in the pan.
Okay, so we need a scooper.
We need a scooper.
So should we use this?
Well, do you have one that has little, here, let's try this. You know what?
Oh, yeah, that might be an idea.
Just make things work, right?
Okay.
So we're just going to take the guanciale out.
And we're working with what's here.
You know what? I have a lot more now in my life than I ever had before in cooking. That's because I started cooking. And then you realize, the things that you need. But, we made it work. You don't need everything. We just
That's it.
use what's around us, right?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So we're going to...
I just want to eat that by itself. It looks good.
It's actually... Doesn't it smell different?
It smells great.
Yeah. All right. So that's done.
So we're going to do the cheese now.
We're going to use, like I said, this juice
perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So now we're going to go grate 2 different kinds of cheese.
Okay,
Let's go
gotcha.
talk about that.
Okay, so now I'm ready to grate the parm. Now, what pecorino?
Pecorino.
Okay, what's the difference?
Pecorino is very popular in the South.
Okay.
It comes from sheep.
Okay.
I only know pecorino because I'm from Calabria.
Right,
so
that's the South.
the only cheese that we cook with. It's a bit more stronger, I think. So when a recipe calls for pecorino, there's always a bit less.
Right.
Parmigiano Reggiano is north. It's a northern.
Oh,
right. That comes from the cows, and that has its own history and story.
Gotcha.
Right?
I see it's the
Parmigiano is I just love cheese, but this does have more of a bite. You do that, and then if you don't like that part, do the other side. I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic to
That's it. Yes,
the juices while you do that. Okay.
Gotcha.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm not crushing the garlic either, Rob. I'm just going to let it.
Sure. So we're putting how much of this cheese?
Do half a cup.
We'll fill this sucker up.
Fill it up. So I said we needed a bigger bowl. You said, I got this. So
you watch.
Oh, I know. I trust you, Rob.
You watch.
I trust you.
I've been in the kitchen before.
I know. And you've been around great cooks, right?
Yeah.
You always have.
I watched my mom cook.
Right.
I watched. I see.
Right. This is a very simple recipe. And I know people get a little nervous sometimes with raw eggs, but the eggs get cooked.
Well, it's
the heat of the...
Well, Rocky love eating eggs.
All right.
Put it in there.
What we do. We're going to move this. We're going to move little Luigi here.
Move the cheese.
Move the cheese.
I'm going to have a little taste.
Oh, can I too?
Mm.
Isn't it great?
Perfect.
So good. You know, it's salty.
Yeah, nice.
Okay.
So what do I do with this?
You're going to...
Put it in here?
Mm-hmm. So do you taste the salt?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, this is another thing. There's no salt in this recipe.
I'm going to use a fork to whip this thing up.
All right, and
you got this pepper?
Put a pepper in there.
Beautiful.
And you really, like Rob, pepper on
the carbonara is really good. I like that.
I think you can make this work, but it's a really small plate.
No, don't worry. You'll see.
Okay. It's got to get to be a nice cream, okay?
I'm going to get you. Look at that.
And I'm going to come over now. This is a little trick that I love. I'm going to take the guanciale juice.
Oh, yeah. See how that wasn't too bad, was it? Was that...
Actually, you're doing a great job. Just a little bit of that juice, okay?
Nice. Look at that. I think I should be a chef.
I think you are.
Real estate and cooking. There we go.
I do have a question. I just got a new home from you, right?
Yeah.
So the one thing that when we were looking for a house, the first thing I looked at was the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I just knew that the kitchen was the deal breaker.
The kitchen's the heart.
So
kitchen's the heart.
It really is the gathering
That's
place,
it.
Right?
It is. The kitchen's the heart. If you can make the kitchen look it doesn't have to be a brand new kitchen. It doesn't have to be that. If the kitchen, no matter what size kitchen, it's the heart of the house. And that's where all the cooking's happening.
Yeah.
And that's the love of the house right there.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to cook we're going to get the pasta.
Let's get the pasta in there. Okay.
Okay, Rob, this has to go right in here because this is like what's going to happen right now is I have to stir that into the hot pasta, and that's how the eggs cook. Can you help me, Rob, and just get that water just a bit? That's going to create more of a sauce, right?
Right. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes I go to a restaurant and it's too liquidy. Terrible.
Very.
So the one thing is easy to cook, but but people screw it up all the time.
You don't want it liquidy, and you got to remember the starch of the pasta.
That looks good, eh?
It does look good.
Oh my God. I'm back in Italy.
Give me half of that guanciale in here because we're going to save some to top it. So just put some in there. Beautiful. I think just a tiny bit more of water too. Just a tiny. Perfect. Let's get that, and then we're done.
Wow.
We're going to plate it.
Look at that.
I'm going to show you how to make some pretty plates too. Okay, Rob? So plating to me is a big deal too. You know, just little details, right? So there's 2 ways to plate.
Look at
You
that.
can use this.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that in Italy, how they
You know,
do that. That's how they do it.
Right.
That's how they do the circular.
Then you can, you know, loosen that up and it gets that little bit of
Wow.
like that. But I like this, but I need a fork. And you put it in the ladle.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
And you just...
Look at the secrets of the
Right.
chef.
Well, that's how, you know, you get these pretty plates.
Look at that.
This is pasta, again, that you eat right away, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to take a little bit of
Oh, look at that.
guanciale, right, with the juices.
Beautiful.
And
You eat it with a spoon or just
I don't do
twirl it?
I just twirl.
They don't like it in Italy when you have a spoon. They know that what the Westerners like the spoon. Look at this. I like big bites. Look at this. Oh, God. Amazing. I'm going to say, bam. Ha! This is beautiful.
It's good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
listen, hopefully we'll do another show and we'll get you some other recipes to go.
Maybe we'll tackle tiramisu later.
There you go. Sounds good. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for having me.
watching.
Thanks.